Hello, I'm wearing my Pioneer Manitoba cap today. That's partly because we haven't been able to get haircuts in Toronto since November, and partly because I want to talk today about canoeing. One of the phrases that has come from canoeing into wider English usage is being up the creek without a paddle. It means that you are stuck in circumstances beyond your control. Well, I have a paddle, but this year I felt that I haven't had a canoe. That all the things that have made it possible for us to do the kind of ministry that InterVaristy thrives on have been taken away from us. We've not been able to meet in person, in high school, on university campuses, on camps, and in the workplace. And it's been extraordinarily difficult. This doesn't, of course, mean that we haven't been working hard. We believe in preaching the gospel in season and out of season. And in this season, we have seen students, staff, and volunteers rise to the challenge. So the high school ministry team have developed question box to help students ask questions online and have been doing 60-second devos. The BC campus team is working on RuthCon, a 3-day event looking at the major themes in Ruth and how they resonate with what's going on in the world. There are 5 students living at Big Clear Lake in a new discipleship program. Pioneer Ontario's Leadership in Training program is developing to have a year-round dimension, helping students think about not just faith at camp, but faith year-round in high school. Students in Winnipeg have been working on an initiative called Let's Create a Curated Life, which is really about how they prioritise well-being and spiritual growth in the midst of all that is going on in the world, and how they share that good news with the people around them. We continue to look for opportunities to use arts creatively and have seen some online art exhibitions and partnerships developing around that. Our workplace ministry continues to develop with pilot programs in Vancouver, in Calgary and in Montreal. And in Toronto we partnered with InterVaristy to do an online event helping people think about how faith relates to work. This is all part of our vision for joined up ministry with young people, helping them to transition through major life events from high school to university, from university to work, and how camp has a vital role to play in that. We started the pandemic thinking about hope in a time of uncertainty, and then moved on to thinking about hope in a new reality. And at the moment, our focus is very much on moving forward together as we seek to prepare for this new world that we will enter into as things begin to change. We don't talk about returning to normal. We talk about moving into this new reality, which is going to be forever shaped by the things that we've experienced together during the pandemic. Central to that is the language that we are using around our 5 core aims. Discovering Jesus, helping young people find dynamic faith in Jesus. Undivided life, whole life discipleship. Engaged thinking, helping young people apply faith to studies and thinking about how that relates to work. Growing influence, thinking about leadership being salt and light where God has placed them now and where God will call them in the future. And global vision, how we participate in God's worldwide mission. The canoe is a fantastic image of what can be accomplished when people work together. When we lived in British Columbia 20 years ago and had our first visit to Pioneer Pacific, one of the things we took home was the picture of a canoe sailing in those waters. Its title is Nunsel Salis, which is a Sartlet word meaning many hands. It's a reminder that when People work together in common purpose. The canoe sails straight and fast and true. We have some old footage from Pioneer, Ontario, of a canoe being paddled by some young men with enough speed to tow a water skier behind it. I think it would require a bigger canoe and more young men if it was to pull me water skiing behind it. Nonetheless, when people work together, a huge amount can be achieved. This has been the story of InterVarsity through the years, of students, staff, volunteers and supporters working together in common cause for the good news of Jesus in campus and beyond. Paul uses a similar image in Ephesians 4 when he says, under his control, the whole body fits together so that when each part works as it should, the whole body builds itself up and grows through love. This is what we desire to see in and through InterVarsity. People working together, each finding their place, expressing their gifts and working together in common cause, so that young people's lives can be changed for eternity. The other reason that I'm wearing my Pioneer Manitoba hat today is that if you go to Pioneer Manitoba, the building where they hold chapel services is called the Bill Mason Building. It is named after the famous wildlife and wilderness photographer, painter and filmmaker. Bill went to Pioneer Manitoba as a camper as a young man. It was there that he learned how to paddle. He returned as a counsellor and took steps in leadership. One of my predecessors, Wilbur Sutherland, commissioned him to make a film promoting the camp. It became the first chapter in Bill Mason's storied cinematographic career. It's a fantastic example of the kind of joined up thinking that we're about in InterVarsity, helping young people find faith, grow in leadership and discover their calling, and then send them on to make a difference in the world, to know Jesus and make him known. These are exciting days, but they are difficult days. We're particularly concerned about not being able to run camps in the way that we have for a second successive summer. That has a huge financial impact on our ministry, but it is also a huge opportunity loss, not being able to connect with the 10,000 young people that we've been seeing coming through our 9 camps across Canada in the last few years. So I want to ask that you might continue to partner with us, to pray for us, to give to us, and to stand with us. There is a place for you in the InterVarsity canoe, and we ask that you would continue to paddle with us, that we might advance the mission of God in this generation together to his glory. God bless you.